Hi, I'm Emily and I'm the Assistant Director on How to Disappear Completely and Never Be Found, which is NST Youth Theatre's show in January. I like the play because it has something to say. It seems like it's really important and really relevant. It's a play that's kind of about, the self, it's about identity, it's about finding your place in the world. It also kind of touches upon, addiction and mental health problems and kind of the relationship between postmodern culture and mental health and how it's a bad thing. And it's also really relevant in that obviously there's a lot of cultural conversations about mental health in men and the stigma in mental health and like trying to be able to open up about it, and yeah, it's cool. It's early days at the moment, but so far we've done a couple of rehearsals where we've just sort of explored everyone's characters. So everyone's brought in sort of different objects they feel represents their character. We've got everyone to pick a song and kind of connect that song to a place in their character's life, childhood, whatever. It's just been really kind of exploratory so far, because the intention really is that the cast are going to have quite a lot of autonomy in the blocking and the staging, and really if you create like three-dimensional multifaceted characters, then that is quite easy for them and it works quite well. So yeah, we've just been doing lots of character development, and then we're about to go into the stage where we're blocking it. Yeah, there are two things that I think are quite difficult in the play. The first is the nature of the play is that it kind of spans across loads of different locations, because you're kind of following this one guy on his journey, and that takes the audience all through different significant places in his life, and like naturally that's quite a difficult thing to stage authentically, but that's a bit of a more basic one. But then I guess the nature of the script itself, it does deal with some really heavy themes. It grapples with addiction and mental health problems and relationship problems and money problems and problems with the law. Like it's quite a lot to do with young people, but so far they've been so like intelligent and they've brought so much to it that I don't really think that's going to be a problem at all. I like directing mostly because working with actors is really cool. You learn so much from working with so many different people. I love kind of exploring different characters and different states of mind, and mostly like bringing texts that feel like they have something to say to life. I think that's really important, and it's nice that there's an opportunity to do that. I suppose the point in the show is that everybody can see themselves in Charlie, because he's a guy who's suffering, obviously, but he's suffering in a way that's quite universal. He's it's the world. Like, it's not, the world is too much for him, and I think that everyone to some extent has experienced that working a 9-to-5 office job doesn't always make you feel great about yourself, or it can make you feel quite disconnected from the world. And I think that I would be surprised if someone was to say I've never felt disconnected from anything. So yeah, I would say Charlie. Going back to what I was just saying about the universality, is that a word? I don't know. I'll make it a word. Words are abstract anyway. The I've really confused myself. The universal nature of Charlie's kind of pain and suffering, and just kind of like the life he leads kind of lends itself to the idea that it's not just one person, it's not just one person's story, it's not one person's journey, it's something that people all over are experiencing. People who are scattered in every walk of life are kind of going through. So it seemed like it made sense not to like hone in on one individual, but to kind of try and translate that universal nature of, you know, what he's going through. And